Good morning, everybody. It is 17 degrees in the shed, the sun is shining, and I'm having a breakfast beer. And let me bring you up to speed on the project here. I did have to put it out in the sunshine because it wasn't curing. The nighttime temperatures in the shed must still be getting too low, so it's getting down to like 2 or 3 degrees at night, so way below the normal curing temperatures. So what I generally have to do is take it out in the morning, put it in the house somewhere, which is alright because it's not making a lot of gas or smell or anything. That would be a nightmare if it was stinky. This one smells like popcorn, but this is my gel coat. It is now hardened. It feels like it's got a slightly rubbery texture to it, and you can see all my brush marks and so on. We have now had an Instagram like from Easy Composites, the people who make all this stuff. So they're probably looking at what I'm doing with it and shaking their heads in disgust. They do have training courses. It's like £700 or something though, but they show you how to make all the parts. Anyway, next step for this is to stick some layers of resin and this fancy cloth stuff, which I think I showed you before, but it's just like plastic filament. It's not proper carbon fibre, but it's still good, strong, multi-directional cloth. So I'll use some of that because it looks a bit prettier, and I will combine that with some chop-strand. But I've got to get a few layers onto this thing. I'm glad the temperatures are higher. I've got the door open. Oh, I have pulled my finger out and I've put some stickers up for the people that we like. Road Concept, this was the event which sadly has now been cancelled. So, you know, I can take my foot off the gas with this scoop because I don't need it for Road Concept anymore, because sadly that's not going to happen. So Road Concept, Inside Out FPV, he has recently started doing drifting videos on YouTube. He heads up to Driftland, takes his drone, he flies that thing like you wouldn't believe. Hasn't smashed into any cars yet, I think. Death of Glory, they make some nice merch, stickers, t-shirts, hoodies, that sort of design. SMT Motorsport, he is up in the very north of Scotland, doing BMW builds mostly. Status Era, we know who Status Era is, that's Gianni's crowd, they make lots of good merch. And Pro307 is our man, world famous YouTuber Stuart Cowie, also up in the north of Scotland. He has the Sylvia S14.5 with preposterous horsepower. Our very first drift ride-alongs were with Stuart and with Stephen McConnell. So it's their fault. Their fault is why we're into drifting. I need to get a Stephen McConnell. Stephen McConnell, why don't you have stickers yet? Sort that out. Then you can join my fridge wall. Anyway, I'm going to cut out some cloth to fit the size of this thing and trim it a little bit. And then it's epoxying time, which means mask and fumes and all the rest of it. BRB. I'm crouching down so I don't have to change the camera angle. I haven't become a midget. I've cut this cloth to size, and you can see that around the back it kind of sweeps around nice and neat. But if you look here, this cloth has enough flexibility in it that I can follow this curve around without it getting any, you know, funky ripples. And that's the idea of using a cloth that's got some stretch and movement in it. However, if you look at the front here, this part, like there isn't a way of getting this to fold flat without there being a ripple somewhere. So I'm going to have to cut probably in the front here somewhere, because I don't want to fold it over like that. I don't want to fold there, because a fold will result in bubbles and gaps and stuff.
A few inches later,
after playing with it myself, not playing with myself, playing with this myself, I've come to the conclusion that I can bend round this corner without having to make any relief cuts at all, especially once that's wet. This clothy stuff is going to let me get right round that corner, and once it's wet, you can see now, even when it's dry, it's kind of moulded to that corner, which is why I bought this cloth, because I knew I was going to work with corners. I think that is going to be good enough. I'm just going to mix up a big old pot of epoxy and set to work. Right, time to make a mould. Let's do this. I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm excited. We should all be excited. Yeah, I think I'll stick 2 layers of cloth on this, hit it with some chop-strand, and then some more cloth. We're going for a thick-ass mould here, boys. Right, I think that is well and truly mixed. I think this is going to be tricky getting everything to settle, because as I'm brushing, of course, it moves the fabric around. I'll do my best. Man, I'm ripping through this epoxy. That's about half of it gone already. Do a bit more of the front and then I'll head up the back. You ever had a broken arm and they have to put a plaster cast on you? Kind of reminds me of that. That happened to me once because of a skateboarding injury. Actually, this skateboarding injury. Yes, we've been filming stuff since before some of you were born. Because I am old as balls. Stay in school, kids. Work hard. Then one day, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So I have to do a combination of, like, when I go with upward strokes like that, it ripples the fabric, and then I have to do downward strokes to smooth it right back out again. If I kept going in the same direction all the time, I would end up pulling the fabric in one direction. I don't really want to do that. Because I want to make sure there's a solid edge of epoxy around the whole part, because I'm going to need the flat edges when I come to do my carbon fibre moulding. Man, I hope this works. It's been a lot of effort into this project to get to this stage. At the end, I will have something that's made of carbon fibre. I'm hoping that I get a good surface so that it looks presentable when it goes on the car. Because I don't want it to look like shit. This bit's on the wrong side for the camera, so you'll just have to trust me that it's going to go well. It's going to go absolutely flawlessly, perfectly smooth. To be honest, I actually thought the back was going to be trickier to do than the front, but it seems to be the other way around. Going to hit that with another cloth layer. That might have been too much, but hey ho. This was going well until my last greedy layer of chop-strand mat. I should have put it in as layer number 2 rather than layer number 3, because now I'm going to end up with this choppy, rough surface on the top of the mould. I'll mix up a little bit more epoxy and try and solve this like dry problem that I have right now. And then maybe I'll put another layer of that cloth on the top of it so there's a nicer texture for handling the mould. But for now, I'm just going to add some more epoxy to this because it's looking a bit dry right now. That's done, and for my last pro tip, which is probably a no tip, heat gun. Now this will smoke. The idea is I just want to raise the temperature just a little bit, above 20, so that I can get this exotherming going. Well, thank you for watching this continuing disaster. That went alright, apart from the chop-strand mat being far too dry. I'm probably going to leave this for 2 days to cure. Just going to leave it in here. I want to make sure it's had plenty of time to set properly. We've got a couple of hot days coming up which will help. And then, if need be, I'll cloth it again. I'll let you know if I had to do that. But it might just be a case of popping this out of the mould, and then maybe, with a bit of sanding, it might be ready to lay up carbon fibre in it. You never know. Right, thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, likes, hit them in the boxes down below. Thank you for watching, everybody. Make good decisions, look after one another, and I will see you in the next video, part 742 of the Carbon Fibre Hood Scoop project. Thanks for watching, everyone. Goodbye.